In this video, I am going to show you how to create a home page for an e-commerce store. I will specifically show you how to create a home page for an e-commerce store with Elementor. And this is exactly how our page will look like after we have finished creating it. The home page comes with a hero section with a call to action that can take your user to the shop page of your e-commerce store. Going down to the next section is category section. I also have a section for best selling product, so I will show you how you can add some of your best selling product onto the home page of your online store. The next section comes with recently added products, and finally a section for notable brands you have worked with. Of course, we will not be covering the header and the footer since they are not being controlled by the page builder. First of all, I will show you how to create a page and assign it as our default home page. And I will recommend you have at least 8 products on your store so that you'll be able to get the best out of this tutorial. So, if you want to create a beautiful landing page or home page for your online store, just like this one, keep watching.
Hello guys, this is Swadik here at Dikupages Web, where I do web tutorials just like this one. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. That said, let's jump into the video.
At the moment, this is how our home page looks like. And it is not a page we can actually go ahead and edit in order to make our home page beautiful. So what we are going to do is go ahead and create a page that we can call home so that we'll be able to edit it. To create a page, you can go over to new right here, then you click on page, or you can go to the back end of your website by clicking on the name of your website right here. Then go over to pages, click on add new. Let's exit out of here, and you see that in an attempt to create a page, we don't see the sidebar menu anymore. I always prefer to have it here whilst I'm creating my pages. So to be able to see it, we go over to options. That is the 3 dots right here. Then we click on full screen mode and it will appear right there. Let's go ahead and give our page a title. So we just call it home. Then we click on publish. Publish again. The page is published. Now let's take a look at it. Just hover on view page, right click, open link in a new tab. Let's go there. So we have just created our home page. However, if you look at the URL of our website, you see our domain name /home. Seeing /home here means this page right here, which we've just created and call it home, is not our default home yet. For us to be able to see it as our default home page, we don't need to see the /home right here. And as you can see, it's now part of our menu right here, which we'll be fixing later on in this tutorial. So the next thing we are going to do is go ahead and assign this page as our default home page. So to achieve this, we go to the back end of our website, then we go over to settings, click on reading. Under your home page displays, you see that your latest post is selected. And that is the reason why we don't get to see this page as our home page. So going back, we need to choose a static page. So we go ahead and enable this. Then under home page, we drop down the arrow. And these are all the pages we have on our website at the moment. And what we need to do is go ahead and click on home. Then we click on save changes. The settings is saved. We now have this page, that is the home page we just created, as our default home page. So if we go to the front end of our website, you see that we still have the /home. Now let's go ahead and refresh the page. After it finishes loading, you see that the /home will go off. So now this home page we have created is now our default home page. So anytime you try to click on any link, that will take you to the home page of your website. It will take you right here. So for instance, if I click on the name of my website, it will take me to this page. If I click on any page, maybe shop, then I go ahead and click on the name of my website right here, it will take me to the home page. So from here, you see that we now have edit page, which means we can actually go ahead and edit this page in order to customize it the way we want. To do that, you need to make sure you are on the home page of your website. At the moment, I'm on the home page. So if you are on the home page, you see edit page right here. Let's go ahead and click on it. Under template, we drop down the arrow. Then we choose our default template and we are going to go ahead and use Elementor full width. With Elementor full width selected, we'll be able to design our page in a full width mode. So after choosing Elementor full width, we click on update. The page is updated. Then we go ahead and click on edit with Elementor. And this will open in the Elementor editor. Now we are inside the Elementor editor and you realize that we have this dialog box that is navigator. All what we will be doing on this page will be displayed right here, so we can use it to navigate to whichever section we want to move to. Now if I click here to exit it and I need it back, I can easily go over to navigator right here, click on it and it will pop up again. So leaving it here will depend upon how you want to swiftly navigate to other sections of your page. So let's go ahead and start designing our page. The first thing we want to do is create a hero section for our home page. To do that, we click on the plus icon right here, that is add new section. And in here, you have different forms of sections you can go ahead and choose. It should be noted that choosing any of these structures will depend upon what you want. For this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and use the first one, that is single column structure, and it is added right here. Now if we go over to the navigator, you see that we have a section right here. If I go ahead and toggle on the arrow, inside the section you see that we have a column, and that is the gray icon right here with the dotted lines, that is the column. You can also go ahead and toggle on the column and you see that at the moment the column is empty. So this is how the navigator will help you see all the structures you have on your page. After inserting the section, at the left side pane, you see that we have edit section where we have layout, style, and advanced. These are the features you can use in order to change the look and feel of your section. So the next thing I want us to do is go over to height, and we are going to go ahead and change the height to minimum height. Upon choosing minimum height, it will give you a default of 400 pixels. We want to change it from 400 to 600. Next thing we are going to do is go ahead and add a background image to our section. To do that, we go over to style. Under background, we have background type where you see classic, gradient, video, and slideshow. So you can choose any of these as your background. For now, let's go ahead and use classic. And in here, you have the opportunity to use a color as your background. Let me show you how. I'll just click on the color right here and I can choose whatever color I want as my background. Maybe if I need purple, like this. However, for this tutorial, I'm not going to use a solid color as my background. So I go ahead and clear the color from here. And I'm going to go ahead and use an image. So from here, we click on choose image. And it will take us to our media library. Next thing we want to do is go over to upload files, select files. Take note, inside the resources folder I will be giving you, let's go over to digital downloads, and this is the image we are going to use, hero. Just select it, then click on open. It should be noted that you are free to use your own images. The image is inserted. I click on insert media and it will appear right here. Perfect. You also have the options to change the position to maybe center, top center. You can choose any of these positions you want. For this, I'm going to go ahead and use center. You can also choose an attachment by dropping down the arrow here, then click on fixed. So with fixed, as you are scrolling, the image will be static. Awesome. For now, I'll keep it as default so that when I'm scrolling, the image will scroll along. If you are using an image which is smaller in size, you may want to set it as no repeat so that the image wouldn't be repeated at some points. My image is okay, so I leave it as default. And the size, I'll draw down the arrow and I'll go ahead and choose cover. We have other features here, especially background overlay. We'll come back to it later after we add some text onto our hero section.
If you are finding value so far, please give this video a thumbs up. It does help me out so that the video will be suggested to more people on YouTube and also benefit more people. Alright, let's continue.
So now we have our background in place. Next, let's go over to widgets by clicking on the 9 dots icon right here. The first thing we are going to do is go ahead and grab the heading widget. So we click on it and we drag it inside our column like this. And you see that by default, it is using the font as well as the color we set when we're choosing our design system. So all the colors will be seen on our page, they are being pulled by the theme customizer, and that is what we want. It should be noted that you also have the power to be able to change the text color inside Elementor. So you don't need to stick to whatever colors we selected when we're choosing our design system. Now let's take a look at our navigator. You see that we have section, column, as well as heading. So whatever widget you add in here, it will show accordingly. For now, let me go ahead and exit it so that we see all what we are doing right here. So next thing we want to do is go ahead and edit our text. We can actually go ahead and do it from here or from here, whichever way they will all take us to the same place. I'll enter in my text. The best marketplace for digital downloads. Next thing we want to do is come over to HTML tag and we are going to change it from H2 to H1. With H1 selected, chances of these particular keywords appear on search engines is high. Next thing we want to do is go ahead and change the alignment to center. Next, let's change the color of our text by going to style. And the text color, you can actually go ahead and click on the color icon right here. Then you choose whatever color you want from here. However, what I want us to do is go over to default right here, click on it. For this text, we are going to choose color 6, which we set to be white. And you see that our text is no more showing clearly as a result of the color of the background. Don't worry, we'll fix it in a moment. Next thing we want to do is go over to typography and we are going to go ahead and increase the size. I'll take it to 80. Take note, whatever size you are going to choose here will depend upon how lengthy your text is. I actually want my text to be in 2 lines. So if you are using different text from mine, you need to take notice of the size you'll be using so that you'll be able to get 2 lines. However, having whatever number of lines will depend upon what you want. You can also go ahead and change the weight. At the moment, it is set to default. Maybe if I need it 300, it will be lighter like this. I can make it like 600. For now, let's keep it as 900. Awesome. So we are done with our heading text. Next, let's go over to widgets again. And we are going to go ahead and grab the text editor. So we just click on it and drop it under the heading widget. And then from here, we go ahead and enter in our text. So I'll take this off and I'll type in my text pretty quick. Alright, I've entered my text. Next, let's go over to style. And we are going to go ahead and center it. The text color, we click on the globe icon right here and we are going to choose color 6. And the typography, we go ahead and increase the size, maybe 30. And looking at our text, the width is too wide. So what we are going to do is go over to advanced. Then under padding, we click on the link icon right here. Otherwise, if we don't click on it and enter whatever value in here, for instance, 100, you see that we have padding across all sides and we don't want that. So let's take off the 100. Then we go ahead and unlink the values. Now right, let's enter 200 and then left 200 as well. Perfect. Now we are done with the text editor. Let's go back to widgets again. And this time around, we are going to go ahead and grab the button widget and we drop it under the text editor. The first thing we do is change the button text from here. At the moment, it is click here. I will make it shop now. I'll type it in capital letters. And we are going to link this button to the shop page of our website. So if we come over to link, remove the hashtag, then we type in shop, it will give us a perfect match. Then we just go ahead and click on it to insert the link. So if users click on this button, it will take them to the shop page of our website. So this is a call to action that will instruct our users to be able to click on this link in order to go to the shop page of our e-commerce store. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and align it to the center, and the size we change it from small to medium. Next, let's go over to style. If you want to change the size, you can do it under typography like we did for the heading and the text editor. So let me show you. Just grab the size like this and you'll be able to increase or decrease it. We don't actually want to increase or decrease, so we just remove whatever value we have in here. We exit from here. The next thing we are going to do is go ahead and change the text color, even though it is already white, but we just want to be sure. So we click on the globe icon right here, then we choose color 6. The background type, we leave it as classic. Then the color, we click on the globe icon, and we are going to go ahead and use our orange color. Now, if we hover on it, nothing happens. So in order to change the hover color, we go over to hover right here. The text color will be white as well for hover. And the background color, we go ahead and choose color 4. Perfect. Now you see that our text is not standing out. So what we are going to do is go ahead and select the entire section by clicking on the 6 dot right here. If you point on it, you see that we have edit section. Just go ahead and click on it and you see edit section right here. Now remember I mentioned background overlay. So this is where we can come in order to add some color to the background so that our text will stand out. So we click on background overlay. Then the background type, we choose classic. We go ahead and click on the globe icon. Then we choose color 3. If it is too dark, you can decrease the opacity or increase it from here. For this, I'll leave it as 0.5, and that is the default. Now let's take a look at it. Perfect. So now the hero section of our home page is done. Let's go ahead and update the page. To do that, we go ahead and add a new section, and we are going to go ahead and use a single column section. It is added. Next, we go over to widgets, and we are going to go ahead and grab the heading widget right here. We change the text, browse categories. Next thing we want to do is align it to the center. Next, we go over to widgets again, then we grab the text editor under the heading widget. From here, we go ahead and enter in our text. Next thing we do is go over to style, then we go ahead and align it to the center. Next, we go ahead and add our actual categories, and we want it to be in 4 columns. So to be able to achieve that, we need to use the inner section. So we go over to widgets, and we are going to go ahead and grab the inner section and drop it under the text editor. By default, you get 2 columns. However, we need 4 columns. So what we are going to do is go ahead and duplicate any of these columns in order to get 4 columns. So just hover on the icon right here. You see edit column. Right click on it. Then click on duplicate. You see that we are now having 3 columns. Let's repeat the same thing in order to have 4 columns. Awesome. The next thing we are going to do is go over to widgets again. Then we search for icon box. We have icon box right here. Just click on it and drag it into the first column. Under title and description, we go ahead and change the title. So I type in templates. The description, I take it off, and I go ahead and enter in 150 plus templates. Next, let's go ahead and change the icon, maybe to something similar to templates. So let's click on the icon, and we can search by name from here. Let me search for paper and see what we can get. Maybe paper won't do. I'll search for file. Let's go ahead and use this as our template icon. We select it, then we click on insert. Next thing we are going to do is go ahead and apply a background color to our icon box. To do that, we click on advanced, then we go over to background, and the background type we choose classic. Then we are going to go ahead and choose one of our global colors. and we'll choose color 1. Next, we go over to border and we are going to give it a border radius of 10 in here. The next thing we want to do is go over to layout in order to add some padding. First of all, we unlink the values. Then top, we make it 45. Right will be 25. Bottom 45. And then left 25. Perfect. The next thing we are going to do is go ahead and change the colors to the icon as well as the text. To do that, we go over to style. And the icon, the primary color, we go ahead and choose white and we choose color 6. We don't need hover color, so we leave it as it is. You can change the spacing of the icon from the text. You see that, but we'll leave it as the default, which is 15. And then the size, you can increase it like this. But we don't want to tamper with the size, so we just take off the value from here. Next, let's go over to content. And the title, we change the color to white. Next, we go over to description and change the color to white as well. Perfect. So now designing this column is done. What we are going to do is just go ahead and right click on it, copy, then we go ahead and paste it in the rest of the columns. And this will make our work very easy. The next thing we do is go ahead and change individual columns with their respective icons and text. So we click on the second one, just click anywhere inside, or you click on the pencil icon, it's the same. The title, we change it to ebooks. And maybe we have 26 ebooks. I take off the plus. Let's change the icon. Maybe we can search for a book to see if we'll get a match. I think this will do. We select it, then we click on insert. Similarly, we'll go ahead and change the rest of the 2 columns. I'll do this pretty quick and get back to you. Alright, I've changed them. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and add some space at top and at bottom. To do that, we click on the 6 dots icon right here, that is edit section. Then we go over to advanced and link the values and the padding. Top, let's give it a padding of 80 and bottom 80 as well. Next, we go over to style and we are going to go ahead and give it a background color. So I choose classic, and the color, we go ahead and choose color 2. Awesome. What we can also do is go ahead and link every single column to its respective category. To do that, I go to the back end of my website, then I go over to products, click on categories. The first category we have is template. Just go ahead and hover on it. Then you see view right here. Right click on it. Then click on copy link. Going back, we select the first column. Just click on it. Then under link, we go ahead and paste it in there. So now if we hover on this, you see that it's now turned into a link. Let's go over to the second one, click on it, then go back to the back end, and that is ebooks. Upon hovering on ebooks, you see view right here, right click on it, copy link, come back in here, then go ahead and paste it in here. Going back, we grab software, right click on view, copy, come back in here, click on software, the link, we paste it in there, and finally we have music. Right click on view and the music, copy link, come back here, click on it, then we go ahead and paste in the link. I've not actually changed the icon for music. Let's quickly do that. Let's search for maybe music and see what we will get. Perfect. Insert. Now the design of our category section is done. We go ahead and update. By adding the best-selling product section onto the homepage of our website, it will give our clients first impression what our best-selling products are the moment they land onto the homepage of our website. To achieve that, we are going to add a new section. We can actually go ahead and add a new section and build it from scratch. However, if we want to work faster, what we are going to do is go ahead and duplicate the whole of this section. And the reason is that the next section we are going to create will come with a header as well as a subheading. So all what we need to do is take off this and enter in whatever we want to enter there. So to work faster, we just hover on edit section right here, right click, click on duplicate, and a new section will be added for us. Before we go ahead, first of all, let's take off the background. The section is selected. Then we go over to style, and the color, we just click on the color right here. Then we click on clear so that we have our normal white background. Next thing we want to do is exit out of here. Then we go ahead and change our title. By clicking on it, we can change it from here. Then we enter in best-selling products. We can also go ahead and change the subtitle. Next thing we want to do is go over to widgets. Then we are going to search for shortcode. I have shortcode right here. Just click on it and drag it under the text widget. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and enter in our shortcode right here, which we don't have yet. To get it, we go over to Google. Then we search for WooCommerce shortcodes. I have it right here. I click on it. I'll just go ahead and click on the first link. Upon landing on this page, we scroll down to product scenarios, examples of product scenarios, and we are going to look for best-selling products. So the first one is random sale items. We don't need that. Featured products. Alright, we have best-selling product right here. So what we do is just go ahead and grab this shortcode. Then we go back to our Elementor editor. Then we go ahead and paste it in here. And it will pull in some of our best-selling products. At the moment, it is giving us 3 products as well as 3 columns. To change that, we come over to the shortcode right here. You see that product limit is set to 3. We want to make it 4, like this. After making it 4, when we scroll down, you see that the 4th one is in the second line. So what we do is we change the column to 4 as well. Perfect. So all the features we are seeing here, they are being controlled by the theme customizer. So everything is set and we don't need to worry about space at top and at bottom because it was already created from this section. So we go ahead and update our page. Let's take a look. So far, so good. Perfect. This section we are going to create will be the most easiest section to create on the home page of our website. And the reason is that we are just going to duplicate the best-selling product section, just as we duplicated the browse category section for the best-selling product section. So to achieve this, we just right-click on edit section right here. Then we go ahead and click on duplicate. Going down, we have our duplicated section right there. The title, we just go ahead and enter recently added products. And then the subtitle, we click on it. Then we say browse from our latest products. So we just change best selling to latest. Next, we go ahead and click on the pencil icon right here. That is for the shortcode. What we do is take off what we have here. Then we go over to WooCommerce shortcodes. Then we go ahead and search for newest products. So what we need to do is just grab the code from here. Then we go back to our page editor, right click in here, click on paste. And this will pull in the most recently added products. Awesome. Already by default, this shortcode has given us the product limits to be 4 and the number of columns to be 4. For number of columns, we leave it as it is. However, product limits this time around, instead of 4, we are going to go ahead and make it 8. So we click after the 4, take it off, and enter in 8. So that we'll be able to display 8 products for this particular section. Let's update the page. We can take a look by clicking on preview changes. Perfect. We are done with the recently added product section. Having a business brand section on the homepage of your website will give you some credibility when other people visit your website. So if you happen to have some deals with some notable brands, you can go ahead and list them up on the homepage of your website so that visitors who come to your website and they know the various brands, that is when they can really establish that you have actually gained some credibility in the industry in which you are operating in. So this particular section is going to be a simple section. However, this is not a mandatory section. You can decide to have it on the homepage of your website, or you can decide to do away with it. The choice is yours. But for this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and achieve that. Now let's get started. To add the brand section, we just go ahead and add a new section. Then we go ahead and add a single column section. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a padding at top and at bottom. To do that, we go over to advanced and link the values first of all. Then top, we enter 80. And then bottom, we enter 80 as well. Now that we have our section in place, next we go over to widgets and we are going to go ahead and drag in the inner section. By default, we'll get 2 columns. What we need to do is go ahead and duplicate it in order to get the number of columns we need. So I'll just right click in here, duplicate, right click, duplicate. At the moment we have 4 and I want to have 5, so I duplicate for the last time. Next thing we want to do is go over to widgets again. Then we are going to go ahead and drag in the image widget like this. Then we choose our image, upload files, select files. I have my brand logos here. I'll just select all of them. Then I click on open to insert them at once. They are all uploaded. I just use the first one. Then I click on insert media. It is too big. We don't want it this big. So what we are going to do under image size, we drop down the arrow. Then we can choose this option to see how it will come up. Oops, this one is too big. Let's choose WooCommerce Gallery thumbnail. I think this is cool. So in order not to change the size after adding every single image, what we can do is copy this. Then we go ahead and paste it in here for the rest of the columns. And what we need to do is just go ahead and switch the images. So I click on the first one, click on choose image. I choose this one. Next, I select this, click on choose image. I choose the third one, insert media. I'll go ahead and change the rest of the 2 and get back to you. Alright, I've switched all the images. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and add a background color to the entire section. To do that, I click on edit section right here and I go over to style. Under style, I choose classic. Then I go ahead and choose the default colors. Now choose default color 2. Perfect. Let's take a look. Awesome. The creating of this section is done. Let's go ahead and update. Now let's look at how we can make our website mobile and tablet responsive. At the moment, the homepage of our website is in a desktop mode. So for our website visitors to be able to use it on other devices, we need to make sure our website is responsive enough for our clients to be able to view it on tablet and mobile. To achieve that, we go over to responsive mode right here. Then we go ahead and click on it and it will show us the responsive bar right here on top. At the moment, you see that it is set to desktop. Now let's take it to tablet and this is how it will look like on tablet devices. Now let's start from top. The first thing we want to consider doing is reducing the size of the heading text right here. To achieve that, we just go ahead and click inside it and it will open up the edit heading pane. Next, we go over to style. Under typography, we click on the pencil icon and in here is where we are going to reduce the size of the text. It should be noted that whatever customizations we are going to be doing here will only affect tablet devices. So we can just increase the size by dragging. Maybe I make it 55. Now you see how the size is. Let's confirm if it's actually affecting tablet or desktop as well. So I click on desktop right here and you see that the size has gone back to normal. So going back to tablet. Now let's fix this text right here. We are seeing this as a result of adding the padding to left and right side of the widget. So to fix this, we just click inside. Then we go over to advanced. You see that we added a padding of 200 at right and at left. That's why we are seeing this widget to be like this. So let's go ahead and fix it up. The moment we unlink the values, you see that it will be normal. However, if you want to create space here and here, you can go ahead and do that by adding padding to right as well as left. The choice is yours, but let me just show you how you can do that, just as we did on the desktop mode when we were creating a hero section. So right, I give it a padding of 50 and then left 50 as well. Perfect. The button is okay, so we leave it as it is. We don't do anything there. So now we have finished with the hero section in terms of tablet responsiveness. Going down, you see that the columns of our categories are not in good shape. Let's go ahead and fix it. So what we are going to do is make sure we get 2 columns on top and 2 columns at bottom. To achieve that, we just go ahead and click on edit column right here. And it will give us the edit column pane, and the column width we change it to 50. And take note, it is affecting only tablet. That's why we see the tablet icon right here. So we do the same thing to the second column by selecting it. Then we enter 50 in here. Similarly, we do the same thing here. 50, edit column. Then we enter in 50 here. Awesome. So now we are done fixing our columns. Next, let's go down to best selling products. Now I don't think we need to do anything here. It's cool. Followed by recently added products. It's also cool. And finally is the brand section, which is also looking good. So basically we are done with the tablet responsiveness. Next, let's see mobile responsiveness. And starting from top, you see that our text is not in good shape. Let's reduce the size from here by selecting it. Then we go over to style. Under typography, we click on the pencil icon. Then we reduce the size from here. I think 39 is looking good. Next, let's go ahead and fix this text here. So we click on it. Then we go over to style. We are going to go ahead and reduce the size and the typography. And I will make it 22. Let's take off the padding at left and right. So we go over to advanced. Just go ahead and unlink the values and everything will be fixed. Awesome. Going down, the category section is cool. We don't do anything here. This section too is looking good. That is best selling products. And then recently added products. And finally, the brand section. For mobile devices, I don't want to display the brand section. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and click on edit section. Then I go over to advanced. Here, you don't need to follow me. That is if you want to display the brand section for mobile devices. So under advanced, I come over to responsive. Under visibility, I hide on mobile. So whoever is visiting my website using mobile device will not be able to see this section. We can take a look by hiding the panel, and you see that the section is not there. Perfect. Let's go ahead and update the page. So that's it on making the homepage of our website mobile and tablet responsive. And now designing our homepage is done.
Alright guys, I hope you found value in today's video. If you did, kindly hit the like button, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and also hit the notification bell so that Each time I post a new video on this channel, you will be the first to know. Keep watching and I will see you in the next one.